Welcome to the Free Friday class, July 17. So this is streaming live in YouTube. So make sure you can share with your family and friends or those people subscribing to the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/awesome10x. Welcome, Nikki.
Hi, everyone. So today we're going to discuss the rise of retail investing and trading. You are watching me, July 17, 2020. And my Twitter account is @FacesTrader, www.awesome10x.com. YouTube is awesome10x. This is a Friday free class, and we do a mastermind class 24/7 live assisted trading guidance for the Philippines and US stock markets. Zoom live class and recording every Monday to Friday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. You can sign up and register now. Anton, it's bit.ly/awesome10x. Is that the right name? It's not Global Investing Class anymore.
Yeah, awesome 10x.
Okay, so it should be awesome 10x. I haven't fixed my link, but it should be bit.ly/awesome 10x. Our membership fee is 2,000 pesos a month. That would be $40 a month, or 10,000 pesos for 6 months, or about $200 for 6 months. Free classes every Friday. You can join us. It's live stream. You can watch it today, replay, and all of that. Contact us via Viber. This is Rachel's number, 0917-5683627. So let's begin. Okay, so let me stop my, okay. The rise of retail trading and investing, you've probably known about some of these names, but I will tell you a few of the brokerage firms in the USA or global markets. We're talking about companies like Charles Schwab, Interactive Brokers, E-Trade, Ameritrade, and Robinhood. Definitely, there will be more. Fidelity is one of them. I wasn't able to put it in this slide. There are a lot of brokerage firms. We'll discuss a few of them today. So Robinhood, one of the most popular apps amongst millennials. It's a free trading app. It lets investors trade stocks, options, exchange-traded funds, even cryptocurrency, without paying any commissions or fees. Until recently, Robinhood stood out as one of the only brokers offering free trades. So as you well know, it used to be just Robinhood offering zero fees. Now, they're all across the world. Charles Schwab is also zero fee. So who is Charles Schwab? He is, he actually published a lot of books. You could see Charles Schwab, How to Be Your Own Stockbroker, 1984, Choice Investing, 1990, Charles Schwab's Guide to Financial Independence, 1997, You're 50, Now What, year 2000, It Pays to Talk, Charles Schwab, New Guide to Financial Independence, Solutions for Busy People, Reinventing the Market, Invested. So you could see that this is a guy who is an American investor and a financial executive. He is the founder and chairman of the Charles Schwab Corporation. He was the pioneer of the retail revolution. He pioneered the discount sales of equity securities starting in 1975. He was the original gangsta of Robinhood. Before Robinhood, he actually started to introduce stock markets to the public world, changing forever the way Americans invest. His company became by far the largest discount securities dealer in the United States. He was born July 29, 1937, net worth $7 billion, spouse Helen Schwab. A lot of people admire Mr. Charles Schwab. If you're a Filipino, I think that the largest brokerage firm in the Philippines, which is CitySec Online, Call Financial, today known as Call Financial, patterned, or not just patterned, but really admired Mr. Charles Schwab to provide online discount brokerage firms and provide people the ability to actually access the greatest companies that the world has to offer. So Warren Buffett actually said that I have admired Chuck Schwab for a very long time. When you read this book, you'll understand why. I didn't read the book, guys, but I would be happy to read the book if I have time. In October 7, 2019, Charles Schwab says that you can now buy and sell stocks for zero commission. As of Monday, the brokerage firm is no longer charging commission fees for US stocks, exchange-traded funds, and options trades. Last week, Schwab announced that it would slash its trading commission cost from the previous $4.95 to zero. That would be November 2019. Schwab zero fee trading kicked off a price war and could pay off. Charles Schwab on zero commissions in his early career. For the average American, the major barriers to investing and how he handled investing for the average American. October 1, 2019, people are saying that the brokerage fee commissions still have costs. Charles Schwab on no commission trading. So the firm collects just 8% of its revenue from trading fees. Let's discuss how they make money from zero commission trading. So as of October 7, 2019, Charles Schwab went zero. Online trading for US stocks, ETF went zero. And in these moments in time, in the COVID Corona crisis, you probably heard a few people, cast and characters. We see Davy Day Trader actually become one of the most popular, the rise of the armies of traders. They call them the day traders. Davy Day Trader Global is the most successful trading desk in the world. This is his tenets of success. Stocks only go up, and when in doubt, whether to buy or sell, see rule number 1. You can watch his videos. Rise of the Day Trader. So checking in with Davy Day Trader after recent market moves. Davy Day Trader has actually helped a lot of Robinhood millennials. I didn't show here the statistic, but we can go to a lot of stats. If my memory is correct, around 3 million accounts were opened from March to April. If you can recall, the USA gave $1,200 stimulus to every American. And a lot of these Americans, since the COVID pandemic, started opening their accounts. Davy Day Trader, of course, is the founder of Barstool Sports. It is a sports betting media company. And because he had time, he spent his COVID time to actually understanding the stock markets and day trader. Now, of course, Robinhood has also lured very young traders, sometimes with devastating results. We know of some Robinhood traders who actually found themselves either in a really, really bad state, like financial losses, suicide. This is the sad thing. Like inexperience of some customers can lead to staggering losses. I think there was a trader who didn't understand options. He actually lost a lot of money trying to buy oil when it went negative $37. So he actually lost money. So the point here is that while there are stories of people making a lot of money, you could see a lot of people sharing how they made their $30,000 account. And it's always shown in reddit.com, Wall Street Bets. You've seen a lot of people share how they changed their $30,000 to $1 million, sometimes through options, and then how other people lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's really there. Let me share with you a few things. Maybe this is an interesting trivia for you. Published in May 6, 2020, I found this trivia really nice. Did you know that there were 10 S&P 500 companies that increased their sales faster than Amazon in a coronavirus-tainted quarter? So I'll read it to you. Okay, it was Vertex, that would be a biotech. CBOE, which was a SEC exchange, 52% increase. Some semiconductors increased 40%. Market Access Holdings, security exchange, 35%. Did you notice that within this sector, can you see what is very apparent? Securities exchange, click. Securities exchange, click. Securities exchange, check. Securities exchange, check. Securities exchange, check. So actually 5 of the 10 companies that grew more than Amazon in the S&P 500 was what? Brokerage firms, security exchange, CBOE, NASDAQ, CME Group, Intercontinental Exchange, NASDAQ Inc. What does this tell you? Yes, their revenues grew. Even in the Philippines, if you check the Philippine markets, even if you check China, yes, all the brokerage firms are actually minting a lot of money. Now, why is it that way? Okay, at one point, Thomas Peter Fye, he's the CEO of IBKR, Interactive Brokers, he said, at one point, people should be old enough to be responsible for themselves. The market is ready for them. The question is, are you ready? So this is Mr. Thomas Peter Fye. He's the Interactive Brokers Group founder. He believes in low-cost trading. And he actually said that Robinhood drove a retail renaissance. And actually, it's a good thing. It's a long-term secular uptrend. for more and more people to actually understand that there is a great innovative capitalist way to make money in the best companies in the world. I'm not talking about Philippines. I'm not talking about Australia, Canada, Asia. I'm talking about all 200 countries. And the beautiful thing about the brokerage firms is that actually Interactive Broker actually allows you to buy all the stocks that you want with just $1 fixed fee. I'll explain to you a few things about these brokerage firms. This is also something that you need to know. Trade Zero, this is a brokerage firm that competes with Robinhood. Just July 16, that would be yesterday, they onboarded Dave Portnoy, sponsoring the Davey Day Trader Global Show, hashtag DDTG. Trade Zero America, a commission-free trading platform, formally announced a sponsorship deal with Barstool Sports founder Davey Portnoy. You can see that this is Davey Portnoy showing the suits that he's better than the suits. You can actually see a lot of their it's an entertaining video. I do watch a lot of his videos. It makes me happy and fun. It's a great way to entertain yourself. But take note that entertainment is not equal to stock advice. Nevertheless, if you want a good laugh, if you want a good entertaining show, I think it's actually nice to watch it. So what happened in June 25, Portnoy, without much explanation, was booted off of E-Trade Financial Corporation, ETFC electronic trading platform. Alongside the development, Trade Zero, a holistic trading tech and brokerage provider whose commission-free direct access routing, web and desktop platforms allow market participants the best access to consistent execution and trading insights. They onboarded Davey Portnoy and announced that it would sponsor the DDTG show, allowing new users free Trade Zero Pro access. So if you're not aware, I think this is a loss on E-Trade because E-Trade could have easily seen that Davey Day Trader could have been a great spokesman to increasing their accounts. However, it's their loss and it's Trade Zero's gain. We were looking at promoting, sponsoring the show for quite some time. We signed a sponsorship deal that day. He got thrown off E-Trade. This is kind of like you're with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. When you break up, automatic, there's a rebound. And that's how good Davey Day Trader Portnoy was. Of course, he's good in attracting an entire region of an untapped market actually open accounts in the USA. We're talking about more than 3 million accounts opening their account during that March, April. These are probably people who are doing sports betting that like stock trading. And according to Dan Pipitoni, the sponsorship speaks to what Trade Zero is as a company. We are really geared to when those brand new players want more, and it is apparent that they are limited. To be honest, I would have thought that Robinhood with open arms should have gotten Davey Day Trader. So I'm actually surprised that Robinhood didn't do it. They should have been. Why does this matter? It is a part of a vision to be the leading destination for connecting people to the largest markets. Trade Zero is honing in on improved streaming, consistency in execution. We're looking to create a velvet rope experience. Pipito noted in an interview, people can come, fund their accounts for free. They can run with our dynamically updating level 1 platform. So what is the catch with Robinhood? Okay, the big catch is that Robinhood sells that data that you're trying to purchase a stock to HFT so that the HFT can buy it through before you and sell it to you at a higher price. What is an HFT? A high frequency trader. We are in the midst of an algorithmic trader. Michael Lewis, one of the guys who wrote The Big Short, which became a movie. You probably heard about The Moneyball and Liar's Poker. These are great Michael Lewis books. I read a few of them. Some of them became movies. Michael Lewis actually talked about the HFT. These are people who they see that you're bidding. So example, I put a bid. Let's say I'm buying, for instance, let's say I'm buying Baidu at 121, and then I put, let's say I put 100 shares buy. These are being sold to some people, just my bids and my sells. So as a group, just that data is what other people would pay for. So they can study your orders and they can study the bids and the sells, and that's how they make money. These HFTs are like making pennies and pennies and pennies off of like people who are trying to purchase a stock or sell a stock. So how much does Robinhood charge per trade? Zero. How much does E-Trade charge per trade? It's zero, except for options, it's 65 cents. You could see that, is there anything wrong with Robinhood? Actually, there has been a lot of problems because, of course, the surge and a lot of people trying to open their accounts, and sometimes the broadband, the bandwidth, there's a problem in the platform. I remember there was a strong crash in the March 9, March 10, March 20s. Some of the Robinhood clients couldn't access. I'm happy to tell you that my brokerage firm never had those problems. So the thing about Robinhood is maybe they haven't experienced such a surge in volume that they were not prepared to get that much accounts opening that fast. The latest outage on Robinhood follows a major technical problem that happened last week. The plaintiff, Travis Taff, reportedly alleges that Robinhood breached his contract by failing to provide a functioning platform, causing traders to be unable to transfer money while the stock market surged. So, of course, there were some complaints. You know how it happens when you're trying to trade and then it hangs? If you know that feeling, then that's a problem with Robinhood. Margin rates, let's talk a bit about that. Can you borrow money? The answer is yes. You could see that E-Trade's platform is lower interest if you have a higher amount. But the nice thing about Robinhood is that, take a look, it's just 5% across the board. So whether you are a small account or a large account, you're paying 5% across the board. Account fees, okay, you could see that the Robinhood is more catered to the millennials. Zero fees, IRA. Okay, so you could see like all these fees: stock certificate delivery fee, paper statement fee, so domestic wiring fee, international wire fee. So if you notice, like me as an international person, when I wire, let me tell you that I'm not using any of these. I do pay a telegraphic transfer fee. There's a bank wire fee. It's $18 that I pay IBKR. Anyway, just to show you a few things, we'll discuss a lot of the investment options. So just a comparison, E-Trade and Robinhood, you can trade stocks. The question is, can you trade fractional shares? This is a big thing for me. The definition of fractional shares is that you can actually buy just 0.5 shares. Or let's assume that you were buying Amazon at $2,000, and let's say your money was just $1,000. Could you actually pay and buy 0.5 share? That's called a fraction of an Amazon share. The answer is yes. In some brokerage firms, it's not available, but with my IBKR Interactive Brokers, I can. So that's a big thing for me. Fractional shares is good for me. Plus, as you can see, Robinhood doesn't have fractional shares, doesn't have OTC pink sheets. So sometimes like there are names that I want to buy in the OTC market. Example, TCEHY, which is Tencent, and SoftBank, which is SFTBY. It's not enlisted in the NASDAQs. It's actually in the OTC market. So that's one problem with some apps. You could see that futures trading is not there, forex trading isn't there. Not that I actually trade them, but I actually like the fact that I have all the options for me. You can see that the nice thing about E-Trade is that they have bonds. So there, like you have a lot of options. Order types. With a sophisticated platform, you get to do more. An OCO is actually important for me. What is an OCO? An OCO means one cancels the other. So let's say I'm buying a company, and let's say I want you to, let's say I buy a 10, one cancels the other. If it hits, like say, one cancel the other is actually an if-then statement. So I could like put a sell in 12, but if it's not sold at 12, let's say I also have a stop loss at 8, then one cancels the other. It's like, it's either it goes to 12 or it goes to 8, and yeah, it's automated like that. How many firms have gone to zero fees? Let me discuss to you. Of course, E-Trade has gone zero. And this is the news that you have to know. Like in February 28, 2020, Morgan Stanley, the investment banking firm, actually grew its brokerage business by buying E-Trade. The acquisition was a $13 billion acquisition, bringing Morgan Stanley 5.2 million new customer accounts and $360 billion in assets, in the biggest takeover of a US bank since the financial crisis. So this means that a bank, let's say, think about it like it's in the Philippines. Let's say, let's assume BDO just buys Call Financial. I mean, that's possible. The best price is possible. I'm not saying that they will do that, but it's kind of like that. Morgan Stanley bought the biggest. So that means that, example, I'm going to tell you why it's synergistic. Naturally, a bank has money. The float makes you money. So if the people with float can buy stocks, then it helps BDO, it helps Call Financial, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like simple common sense, guys. But anyway, I'm not going to discuss about the Philippines. Let's just discuss USA. Morgan Stanley, because they have a lot of money, wanted to buy E-Trade because you have to understand, this acquisition transforms Morgan Stanley from a bank that relied on investment banking and trading and wealth management for affluent customers to a more diversified firm. Will offer full-service advisor-driven businesses, direct-to-consumer brokerage capabilities, and $56 billion in deposit to fuel its lending business. Like if I'm going to sell you bonds, if I'm a bank and I'm going to sell you bonds and you are just into stocks, I can actually now do it. So this is actually a good acquisition for Morgan Stanley. Let me read to you what happened in this acquisition. The plan to go zero was a great thing. It led to, of course, significant market cap losses among the industry stalwarts. E-Trade as a monoline firm was particularly hard hit. Actually, when all the competition went zero, because E-Trade drew 17% of its revenue from commissions, the stock actually was scared because like if everyone is going zero fees, where is that 17% of my net revenue going could come from? So after Schwab announced the acquisition of TD Ameritrade, so this is like marriage, okay, guys? Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, Morgan Stanley bought E-Trade. So they did that. Robinhood is a loan, Interactive Brokers is a loan, Fidelity is a loan. Yeah, so there, it's like marriages across the board. It's called consolidation. After Schwab announced the acquisition of TD Ameritrade, it was a matter of time before another bank on Wall Street added E-Trade to its shopping cart. Okay, so remember that again. Nikki, repeat to me. Morgan Stanley bought EFTC. And then Schwab bought Ameritrade, TD Ameritrade. Okay. So that means that we have very few options today because they got married. Whether you're a TD Ameritrade, well, you now are a Schwab customer too. After Schwab announced this acquisition, it was a matter of time before another bank on Wall Street added E-Trade to its shopping cart. Acquiring E-Trade brings several immediate benefits to Morgan Stanley's business model. I'm going to tell you a few things. These consolidation remind me, of course, of what's going to happen, in my view, on the streaming world. One day, I do believe that Viacom CBS gets bought. I do believe that AMC gets bought. I do believe that either Comcast has to sell its Peacock someday, or it will really try to do it independently. But the point is, nobody wants to subscribe to 5, 10, 20 subscriptions for their streaming. I don't want to buy 10 subscription fees if I want to watch a movie or a series. So they have to like eat each other up. If there's gonna be at least 5 brands, then I'm okay. But is there like 10 brands? As a consumer, I don't like to have so many choices. You guys better eat each other up. So I do believe that those consolidation is actually a good thing for the consumer. So anyway, let me discuss again this thing about Schwab. So acquiring E-Trade so we're going to talk about the Morgan Stanley E-Trade buyout. Acquiring E-Trade brings several immediate benefits to Morgan Stanley's business model. Acquiring E-Trade diversifies Morgan Stanley's customer base, complementing its base of delegators with more self-directed investors. 48% of E-Trade's customer base comprises self-directed investors, adding a lot more active traders to Morgan Stanley's customer base, who usually rely on financial advisors to make investment decisions for them. So Morgan Stanley plans to upsell financial advisory services to E-Trade customers. They are trying to target and upsell financial advisory services to the 50% of E-Trade's base who are delegators and validators. as these are, anyway, so basically it's an upsell. The beautiful thing is that Morgan Stanley already has $56 billion in deposits. I mean, they get the deposits of E-Trade, so they make money on the float as well. Another big benefit E-Trade begins to benefit is so they can easier fund loans for the wealthier clients. They can offer them cheap margin. Tapping into the cheaper credit lines using its own deposits will drive profitable growth long term once the deal closes in Q4 2020. So like actually a while ago, you saw like Robinhood charges like 5%. You also saw that E-Trade charges something like 6%, 7%. So that's actually how Morgan Stanley makes money. That's annually, guys. So yeah, so that's how a bank makes money, right? Lend money and make them trade stocks. What's left to buy on the shopping list? Actually, after that Schwab acquisition, some people have predicted that the last discount brokerage house that doesn't have a bank is actually Interactive Brokers. Time will tell whether IBKR will actually be a bank's wish list to a shopping cart for checkout. We never know, guys. You might as well see that maybe Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan buys Interactive Brokers. I don't know. Future. Okay, so on the Robinhood traders, some big guys are actually saying that the speculation of people in stocks like airlines will end in tears. June 16, 2020. So like a lot of these are what they call suits. The suits and then the suits and then the suits, the Wall Street traders. They're very afraid that the retail day traders are gonna like fuck the world, what's gonna happen? Because like these day traders are buying bankrupt stocks, airlines, and all that crap. They talk about like that. But to be honest, those things are just a few, these speculative manias are actually not a bad thing. And also, as you know, free trading on Robinhood is not really free. Online brokerage startup Robinhood does not charge trading commissions, but as I say, they make money off your payment for order flow. So the retail broker passes the order to a high frequency market maker. The market maker pays a fee to the retail broker for the order, often pennies per trade. Does Robinhood have hidden fees? Investing with Robinhood is commission free now and forever. We don't charge you to open an account, to maintain your account, or to transfer funds there. So let me tell you a few things. Most people said that the importance of commission-free trading is the most important thing. 45% said that they would move their account to a brokerage firm that offered commission-free ETFs. Meaning you can buy an exchange-traded fund. Let's say you want to buy an S&P 500, you want to buy a NASDAQ 100, you want to buy all these great indexes. Of course, you have the passive investors who doesn't really want to think. They just want to buy the S&P or the NASDAQ. An ETF does that. That's why in the US, like you have a lot of ETFs. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of ETFs. There's an ETF for the millennials. It's called MILN. There's an ETF for like the expanded software. It's like IGV. There is an ETF for cloud computing names, which is WCLD. For esports, it's ESPO. For gaming, it's Nerd. There's a Nerd. For sports betting, there is BETZ, Bets. You can have financials, XLF. You can have technology, XLK. You can have airlines, which is Jets. Like you can buy stocks, you can buy exchange traded funds, you can buy everything you want. You can even short if you want. You can buy inverse ETFs. The fact that there's so much is actually a beautiful thing. It's the land of the free money if you actually know how to. It's not really free money, but it's a land of free opportunities. A lot of money can be made. Very important, what people say is they only invest in commission-free ETFs. So the fact that a lot of them are saying that 4534 said that the commission-free ETF is the reason why they want to open an account. It tells you that Charles Schwab, Morgan Stanley, all of these apps will offer you zero fee because they can upsell you a lot of things anyway. If you have your account with them for the next 10 years, most likely you'll borrow money someday, somehow, and they'll make money through that margin. So there's new realities in wealth management. You can say that the US retail distribution and market sizing, this is actually a 2018 article. It says that the US wealth management industry has grown every year since 2008. Client assets have returned 10%, 9% from 2008 to 2017. The overall growth of client assets reached 19%, buoyed by 22% total return in the S&P 500. We actually grew from about $3.7 trillion to $24 trillion at the end of 2017. We're talking about total client assets. We're talking about not just US, but we are just talking about all these global markets, the phenomenon, whether it's a US, whether it's a Chinese, whether it's a Brazilian or a Canadian or an Indian. Okay, the point is like the market is big, okay? The market is big. A few things for you to know: client assets across industry segments from 2008 to 2017. So this is how they make some money. There is what you call the wirehouse, the self-clearing retail brokerage house, clearing and custody, discount and online brokerage firms. So there, I mean, you could see that the growth is magnanimous. Now, let me explain to you a few things about exchange-traded funds. While it is zero, every exchange-traded fund has an expense fee, an expense ratio. Oops, sorry. So yeah, let me repeat. So I was saying that you know how so you might ask, if exchange traded funds can be bought for zero fee, how could they make money? In the ETF world, the exchange traded fund world, it's similar, guys, to mutual funds. Mutual funds would have like that 1% annual management fee, 2% annual management fee. That means that if you put 100,000 pesos there, $100,000 there, 2% is $2,000, meaning every year you're paying $2,000. So that's the management fee. That's called the annual management fee or expense fee. For some ETFs, because they are just mirroring the S&P 500, like some of the cheapest exchange traded funds, I've seen it like 0.18%. So like, yes, there is a person managing that account passively. They are trying to copy whatever that is. How you have to pay them something. That's really how Vanguard makes money. Blackstone makes money. Fidelity makes money that way. We're talking about trillions of dollars. What is 0.1% of a billion? That would be how much? A billion is 1,000 million. So that would be 1,000 million, 1% is 10 million, 0.1% is $1 million. So yeah, so like usually we're talking about billions of dollars in exchange traded funds. That's why they can actually charge such a low fee. That's why nobody can compare. Whenever you see the Vanguards, the Fidelity, all those mutual funds that are exact copycats of your index, is actually one of the cheapest. Now, as early as 2014, there were actually people who were already saying, as early as 6 years ago, the brokerage world is changing. Who will survive? Once upon a time, being a stockbroker was comfortable, genteel, and lucrative. In the old world, brokers as members and owners controlled exchanges. Exchanges were run as quasi-non-profit clubs or utilities. However, the introduction of negotiated commissions in 1975, that would be your Mr. Charles Schwab, marked the beginning of a constant increasing competition and challenge for brokers. In the last 10 to 15 years, this process accelerated. Capital markets experienced a revolution driven by technology and radical change in market structure. So electronic trading dramatically increased trading volumes, liquidity, and slashed the cost of intermediation and broadened access to the market. Eventually, exchange demutualization led to a dilution of the status of the exchange member. Access to liquidity was democratized. Liquidity became fragmented among exchanges, alternative trading platforms, small and dark pools, and so on. Exchange specialists, so-called market makers, disappeared. In many ways, brokers and exchanges now compete with each other. Brokers may internalize order execution. They may use alternatives. So take a look at what happened throughout the years. Let me show to you the erosion of institutional commission rates. So it used to be that if you were ordering from private banks, they would charge you a lot of fees. And execution for the last 10, 20 years have gotten down and down and down. So like if you were buying then, it used to be that you had to pay 4.5 cents per share. And then it got lowered to $1.50 per share. Of course, now it's zero. So a historical perspective reveals that securities industry, which had a growth industry in 1980s and 1990s, has actually in 2000 become a volatile business with no clear growth trend. Industry revenue cycles reflect overall market and conditions as tracked by S&P S&P 500 index. So you can see the 1980s, the revenues of the US securities, despite lowering the fees, it actually grew 7% CAGR over the last 30 years from 1980 to 2010. And right now it is still continually growing. So the question is, let me tell you what happened here. US and UK are pretty much the laboratory rats for the security industries worldwide. Their experience was that the sell side industry, which was the brokers, has experienced deteriorating economics due to pricing pressures, regulation, changes in market structure. However, the buy side, which were the asset managers, were driving the demand. They were experiencing increasing pressure to a changing business mix. Traditional active asset managers will charge investors a significant fee. This is a 1% of assets under management, and therefore they could afford to pay brokers a full commission for full service. Either equity, either that would be equity research. That's what you call the soft dollars. I think that's what they call it, like soft dollars. Execution. Sometimes the IPO route, steadily lost market share, of course, to low-cost passive managers. What's passive management? So passive management is actually something that Mr. John C. Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, actually has proposed for the entire industry. I can't remember when he proposed it, but I think it was year 2000. I'm not sure. You can check. Sorry, I forgot to check that. But passive management, the ETFs, the index funds, this has been growing very, very fast. In the US, passive has already captured around 20% of mutual fund of outstanding assets. You're talking about this article in the last 6 years. I think right now it's probably 40%. They're saying like sometimes it's like more than 50% passive. So like in fact, some of the people were saying, is it the death of active investing? Because like everyone is a passive manager. They're just copying the index. It's so stupid. Copy the index, do nothing, do nothing, do nothing. So stupid, really. By now, new asset inflows into passive funds outstrip those into the active funds. Relative to active funds, which is 1% business, passive funds charge much smaller asset management fees, 0.1%. So see, I told you it's 0.1%. 0.1% basis of assets for a large cap ETF clearly cannot afford to spend as much in brokerage services. They choose low-cost execution, such as direct market access. They do not need traditional research. Consequence is pricing pressure for the sell side, as illustrated by the declining commission rate. Institutional commissions fell from about 5 cents to 1.5 cents, a 70% decline in about a decade. Now it's zero. So we had the advent of what you call the execution and quant brokers. So they offer low-cost, high-speed, high-tech execution platforms. This type of broker serves passive investors seeking low-cost execution and or highly sophisticated high-tech players. So right now, these are the ways that some brokerage firms make money. You can call it 3 types. Number 1, there is a research firm. They produce analysis, investment ideas. So they will get paid via commissions or hard dollars. So you actually pay them a certain fee for that research. So right now in Interactive Brokers, if you actually want to read research, you can actually pay for that. Inside Charles Schwab, you can do that. So like it's like a low-cost firm where everything is like it's kind of like Cebu Pacific. Like let's say I'm paying like low-cost carrier for an airline. I can just pay my seat and then I pay for my meals and then I can pay for my baggage and I can get my extra storage. So it's kind of like that. So if I want like real-time data, I have to pay for it. If I want research, I have to pay for it. Or if I just want low-cost execution, then I don't need all of that. I just need to execute. So that's it. So service providers, these firms provide services or technology to investment process. They get paid via commission. So there are also these types of disintermediators, which are the new business models, such as LiquidNet, which disintermediate the buy side at exchanges. So for you to see the categories, these are your categories. So you have these traditional brokers. You have the full service global security firm. The definition is these are your Goldman Sachs. So they do everything. GS, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Barclays, Citi, UBS, Credit Suisse, Jefferies. So they're a bank. They have everything. They can do investment banking. They have research. They have a brokerage firm. They have a sales and trading and asset management. And then you have these US regional security firms. These are what you call a Raymond James, a Baird, a William Blair, a Piper Jaffray. So these guys have great research. But they are focused on a geographical region. So they serve usually the small and mid-cap issuers and regional investors. So because the stock market worldwide is wide, some coverage on the small caps is actually being catered by these regional firms. And of course, there are the sector specialists. So these are the firms which are very much great when it comes to an industry or sector. So maybe they are very well knowledgeable about high tech. They're very well knowledgeable about healthcare. They're very well knowledgeable about financials. Like me personally, I'll tell you what, if I needed to pay for my research, I love CB Insights, CB Industry Insights. I think they charge, I don't know if it's like $500 a year, but I would happily pay for sector specialists. Sandler O'Neill does financials. Cowen does healthcare and tech. FDR financial. So there's actually a lot of research firms that people would pay generously. Motley Fools charges like $100 a year, $200 for more coverage. So I mean, research is also a great, a good thing. If you can find good researchers, it's good. Like people can help you. I am one of them. Duh, I do research myself. Anyway, global investment specialists. Firms focus on serving global investors by providing local research. Our back Grayson. Okay, so execution and quants, these are your quantitative traders, liquidity providers, market makers, and high frequency traders. These firms are focused on trading, usually driven by quants, algorithms, high-tech trading software. Okay, so which are companies that are doing that? It's called the Interactive Brokers, IBKR. It's the Investment Technology Group, ITG. You've got Getco, Knight, Susquehanna. So me personally, since I just need execution, I go for the cheapest. So it's Interactive Brokers. Even for margin, guys, Interactive Brokers is far better than Robinhood. And I'll tell you why. Research firms. Okay, firms focus on producing high quality, high touch investment research, usually staffed by top analysts with access to company management. So these are your Bernstein's, International Strategy and Investment. Of course, there are expert networks. These are firms focused on collecting experts based on an industry. So they usually make money through a subscription model. So you pay them for a month or for an annual fee. You've got the likes of Coleman, GLG, Vista Broker, Model, De Matteo, Monas, like, so those. Yeah, so there's a lot of firms, okay, that we can make money on research. So also there is such a thing as the neutral quant research firms. These are the people who just gives you facts. It's quantitative, so it's actually usually a robot. It's just gonna give you, from a quantitative sense, who is the most relative strength, moving average, la la la. So there's a value line, there's a fact set, Argus, Ford, there's Market Smith. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. You can pay for that. Okay, what more? Service providers. You have clearing firms, trading service providers. These are your soft dollar firms. They provide service via soft dollars, fintech, Instinet. Pershing is a security firm offering clearing and settlement services, typically to smaller firms. This intermediator is a firm that disintermediate the sell side, providing the various buy sides, various services, LiquidNet. So technology providers, SunGard, BlackRock, Charles River. So yeah, so you could see that there's a lot of ways that money can be made, right? In the market. Okay, so very more so right now we have like business intelligence and analytics. There are stock brokerage firms in artificial intelligence. Some of the applications are something like this. Let me show to you. So the image below is from Trader Ideas. It shows a screen grab from Trader Ideas application discussing the most trending stocks and discuss stocks. So example, to be honest, I tell you what, some people pay for a trading charting app, like they pay a trading station for real-time data. They pay, me personally, for my style, I don't really pay for charting. I just use tradingview.com. I just use investing.com, which is a free app. So I'm such a cheapskate that I don't pay for my fee. I don't pay for my charts. I don't pay for my I don't need real-time data. I don't care if my data is 15 minutes late because I studied my homework. I don't care to get my execution because I'm not a day trader. I don't really care if I bought at 10 and then it's at 11. Because, you know, TradingView is actually, you just refresh. You can actually have it almost real time. Okay, so a few things that you should know. Investment managers today, you could choose a human being to pick a stock for you, Or sometimes there's a lot of firms, like there's Simply Wall Street. There's so many firms, guys. I mean, when I go to the US, I just see so many things. They just offer you a lot. There is this there are AIs. There is a computer bot that will tell you, maybe you want to adjust the price here, maybe you want to buy this. So they are what you call a robo advisor. So these are robots advising you, checking what do you want, what's your asset allocation, what's your risk tolerance. So the robot, this is not a human being, it's kind of like a financial advisor, and you have to pay for that. I don't really pay for that. So like there's a lot of free trials. To be honest, like the thing about US is that they give you so much that you yourself would be like, oh my gosh, US, don't give me so much. I just need a simple, like I need a buy and sell, and that's it. The beautiful thing about US is that it's automated. You can have your stop loss, you can have your take profit, everything at your mobile, or at your mobile phone, or on your desktop. So and then people ask me, is there a copy trade? Yes, the answer is yes. There are so many platforms that do that, right? So investment managers might use the Kai platform to get. So I mean, personally, I think like my friend said that inside Interactive Brokers, there are people who can do like So Interactive Brokers is being used by a lot of hedge funds, retail people, because it's cheap. Okay, it's zero fees. Oh, well, not for international. It's not zero fee. We're like paying $1 fee. But it's so cheap anyway. So there's also like you can have it approved wherein you can actually. So a lot of what you call the IRA, these are called your investment registered advisors. These IRAs can manage client accounts by managing their portfolio, and then IBKR will just they have robots which will handle the management fees and so forth. To be honest, I don't know how to do that. Like my friend just said, it's possible, but me personally, I'm just an individual account, so I just buy and sell on my own. I don't care about what other people do. I don't manage other people's accounts, just my own. So yeah, what else? So there are like, so this is Emero. It's an AI research and advisory company. They would, if you have a certain filter that you want, like I want the gainers and the news and la la la, they would have quantitative models to improve the return on interest that you could use via algorithm. So the CEO of Emero is Alex Liu. He previously earned his PhD in ComSci. He is a senior software engineer at Google, and he was a principal program manager at Microsoft and an engineering director at Baidu. So just to tell you that there are really a lot of things in the algorithmic world. Okay. So let's discuss a few things. That is 49th slide. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's talk about why do you want Interactive Brokers? Do you want to open an account? Okay, let's see. It says here that after testing 15, this is as of June 30, 2020. After testing 15 of the best online brokers over the last 5 months, Interactive Brokers ranked 90% better than Robinhood 62%. While Interactive Brokers is not known for its casual investor offering, it does lead the industry with the low-cost trading for professionals. Through the Trader Workstation platform, Interactive Brokers offers excellent tools and an extensive selection of tradable securities. So it has very high ratings among the clients. You could see that when it comes to zero fees, Robinhood likes to show zero fee. Interactive Brokers is zero, stock trade fee is zero, ETF trade fee is 0.01, 0.65 options, mutual fund trade fee is $14.95, broker assisted trading fee is $30. If you want the traditional buy and call somebody, you can do that. Okay, this is what I like. You know why I like it? Take a look at the margin rates. Robinhood charges 5%. We're talking about 1.5% a year, guys. Super duper low. 1.5% a year. Maybe you didn't even plan to borrow money, but then, oh my God, it's that cheap, then buy it as well. If it's $100,000 below, it's 1.5% fee. If it's $100,000 above, you're just paying 1% a year. If it's above $1 million, it's 0.75% fees. Interactive Brokers is more than 2 decades old. So actually, even in the testing time period, Interactive Brokers is stronger. stronger, well-capitalized company rather than your Robinhoods. So take a look. The annual fees, 0,000. Domestic wiring fee, here you have $10. International wire fees, $10. Actually, I don't know why they charge me $18. Yeah, so I paid $18. I get a reduction. So I think like two banks are charging me. Anyway, that's it. It's okay. It's still cheap. Take a look. Robinhood is charging international wire fee $50. That means that if you bank wire money there, they'll charge you that much. And if you withdraw, they'll also charge you that much. Another feature I like, as I said, fractional shares. This is such a good thing. What if you have $1,000 account and you're just buying $100 of Tesla at $1,000? You don't even have money. So at least you can buy 0.1 share of Tesla at $100 if it's like $1,000, right? So it's still okay. And then you can buy OTCV pink sheets and options trading. You've got complex options. I doubt, you know what? I don't even care. They give you so much. I don't even use everything. I just use the stock trading and fractional shares and the pink sheet sometimes. They have futures trading. They don't have forex trading. But to be honest, like I'm not there to trade forex. I mean, I'm there to trade stocks. Not even trading stocks. I'm just investing in stocks. So there, mutual funds. You could see that commission-free ETFs is zero. It means that they're zero. Okay, there are 96 commission-free ETFs. This is all. Mutual funds, no load, it's 8,655. No load means zero fees, guys. Mutual funds total, they offer 18,210. This is zero. Robinhood doesn't give it. Bonds, yes, true. They have always tempted me to buy treasury bonds. I didn't buy any of them. I don't care because like if you can make money in stocks, why do you want to buy bonds? So there's US Treasury bonds, but actually it's wrong, no? Kasi US Treasury bonds went up sayang. Anyway, US Treasury bonds, corporate bonds, municipal, interest sharing. Interest sharing means they'll pay you money if you have cash. Also, if somebody wanted to short the stock you own, they'll pay you as well. Interest sharing yon, advisor services none, international trading. Oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing about interactive brokers. You can actually buy USA, but if you want to buy Japan and Hong Kong, it's all there in one account. I don't need to open 2, 3, 4 accounts. If I want to buy Canadian stocks, I can just buy it in interactive brokers. If I want to buy like something in London, I can also buy it through interactive brokers. So of course, the order types is complete. As I said, it's important. Robinhood is kind of pathetic. They only have market limit, stop, trailing stop. But in interactive brokers, you have contingent, multi-contingent, OCO, OTO, OTOCO. So, I mean, duh. Isn't it like so? Minsan, guys, it's common sense. Interactive brokers is beautiful. Okay? There's a platform there, correct. Mac, correct. Web platform, correct. Paper trading, trade journal, watch list, heat mapping, AI assistant bot. So, diba? There's none of that in Robinhood. Interactive brokers, you can, okay, so the trading features, sometimes kasi the trading features you need to pay. So I honestly use, for charting, I use tradingview.com. So day trading, okay, there's so many, you can watch all of that. Mobile trading apps, yes, I use the mobile app a lot. I use the iPhone, some people use the Android. It doesn't matter, but the important thing is that it's available in mobile. Okay, research overview. As I said, they have research. Take a look at what Interactive Brokers gives you. Research. If you really like to read, they'll give it for you, but you have to pay. It's not for free. Stock research reports, it's everything, news, top 10 holdings. Okay, so you watch it for yourself, you read it for yourself. So it's the best online broker for me. You want to see the chart, guys? Okay, let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts. Okay, just so you know, let me say that the biggest stock brokerage firm right now is still Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, let's read the facts. Charles Schwab is the leader, $4.4 trillion in assets with 12 million active brokerage accounts. But this is as of 2020, April 20. So maybe some firms have overtaken, but it's impossible to overtake Charles Schwab. Fidelity Investments has $8.3 trillion in total customer assets because Fidelity owns a lot of ETFs and mutual funds, okay? And this is a US stock brokerage firm. This is like a ETF and mutual fund. This is like all over the world. 30 million active brokerage accounts. E-Trade is an online brokerage pioneer, very full-featured mobile apps, top-notch. So E-Trade is now bought by your Morgan Stanley. So because of investor extensive research, TD Ameritrade is also one of the top choices for active and new investors. Like, of course, Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade got married, so it's bigger. Okay, so normally in the USA, if you can just consolidate, it's actually a good thing. Consolidation is actually a good thing. So let's now take a look at your charts. Okay, so this is what I do. Tradingview.com. This is how you chart. Okay, you take a look at, guys, I'm a cheapo, you know. I don't even pay for my charts, my data. I just use the free ones. Interactive brokers, you can check it in, you can check all the charts in tradingview.com and open an account, it's free. And let me show to you the charts. So if you believe that the world will act, I mean, okay, let me tell you why you have to be bullish on the rise of retail investing. It's because more and more Americans and Asians and Europeans and wants to invest in the best companies of the world. Not just Filipinos, not just Chinese, not just Indians, Canadians, everyone, okay? So if you look at the last 7 years, IBKR went from about $15 to as high as $75. You are happy, you should be happy that since 2018 to 2020, Interactive Brokers, of course, because of the advent of Robinhood, has actually gotten some ano, diba? You've got the competition. So right now, Interactive Brokers went as low as 35. That would be the same price as year 2016. There's a breakout at 46. Right now, it's 51. I think that this one is okay. You won't make a lot of money, but it's a decent long-term trade, long-term investment. I mean, today you can see that so year 2010 to 2013, more and more people are actually seeing the benefits of exchange-traded funds, trading, investing. More and more people see that this commission-free, you know, whatever happened in the COVID pandemic accelerated the understanding of people that, hey, I can make money online. I can make money if I'm in the Philippines. I can actually open an account in Interactive Brokers and I can make money while I'm at home. I'm staying at home. So even after COVID pandemic, these people who are staying at home will make a career. It's happened in Japan, the rise of the day traders of Japan. It happened to USA. It's a global phenomenon, guys. It's a global phenomenon. And the beautiful thing is that, of course, you can access 200 countries. Like, which brokerage firm gives you access like that? And 1.5% interest rates. So I would say that this one, even from a charting standpoint, I think that $50 all the way to 46, even if you buy it today, you can say for yourself that within the next 5 years, you can probably make, I don't know, maybe 75. Let's take a look at your market cap. Okay, so that's and also there's a lot of competition. Robinhood hasn't listed itself, right? So but Robinhood right now is being peddled at about 10 billion or I think $9 billion valuation. Do you know what's the price? Okay, IBKR is $20 billion. So it's 2 times the price of Robinhood with more clients. So maybe you're asking me, how many clients does IBKR in the world have? IBKR clients statistics. You know, everything that you want to know, you can actually check it online. Brokerage metrics. IBKR will report their earnings this coming quarter. You can do copy and paste trading in Interactive Brokers, guys. I just never enabled it. I think like some people told me it's possible. In my studies, eToro is not, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't appear in my research. Like, doesn't appear to be cheap. I don't know. I never opened eToro, guys, so I wouldn't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it doesn't appear in the best brokerage firm, so why do I care? I mean, if it was so good, I mean, it would appear in my research. It's not. Or apparently, people don't find it one of the best. I know that they keep on advertising. Like in YouTube, they keep on advertising to me, but I'm not enticed because I already have Interactive Brokers. So there are 797,000 darts. You call these the daily average revenue trades, 90% lower than prior year for the month. IBKR-like clients executed 1,000 trades. Ending client equity is 162 billion, 21% higher. Client margin loans was 25 billion, 12% lower. Ending client credit balance was $56 billion, including 2.3 billion, 11% higher than prior year. Actually, the reason why I like to buy a brokerage firm, or I buy, not just buy or invest in a brokerage firm, I open a brokerage firm ensuring that they have assets, because the last thing I want to know is that the company just gets shut down. I mean, let's say I have $15,000 or $100,000 there, and then it just shuts down. I'm so scared if like my $100,000, I can't withdraw it. Can you imagine like if you make money and then suddenly you can't withdraw it because it's not partnered with any bank, it's not partnered, like I don't want that headache, okay? I'm not saying that the other firms are not good. It's just that for my sanity, the fact that there's like billions and billions of total assets here, I'm comfortable there, okay? So because I just don't want a fly-by-night company. I don't want a company without asset balance. So this is important for me, like billions of dollars of assets. You've got 673,000 client accounts, 15% higher. 2070 analyzed, cleared darts, average commission, so $3.56. So see, it's so cheap to trade here. Global. In the interest of transparency, okay, you can see that from November 2018 to 2019, the IPKR clients, total number of orders, five trades in a month. So if you're trading more than 5 in a month, you are an overtrader. You do not do the average of what every trader does. Number of shares purchased or sold, 2,600 shares. Yeah, anyway, you can see all of that for yourself. You can read it. Let me see. Why can't I not see how many clients they have? Let me see. Actually, Robinhood, this is one thing that I will teach you. This is a nice thing about Robinhood. I follow Robinhood, guys, because I love to follow the crowd. I want to study what they're looking at. Ta-da! Robintrack.net. Robintrack.net allows you to check what Robinhood traders are doing in their accounts. Of course, since Robinhood is one of the leaders of your millennials in the USA, it's very good to actually check what they are holding in a given time. Do you know that Robintrack is not even done by Robinhood? It was just done by a guy named Emio, Casey Primozic, and Alex J. So so it was a free code. Traders, they would share. So it's very cool. You can see traders going full FOMO and ECE. Traders buying the dip in SBox, traders taking profits during a run-up in AMD, leaderboard, popularity changes. Sometimes I actually check, okay, the truth is people ask me, Nikki, where do you screen for your stocks? I'll be honest, I do look at robintrack.net. Not all the time, but I do. So you download the full leaderboard as CSV. So that's like what most traders are taking a look at. The fact that people would pay a price just to see what people are bidding inside Robinhood tells you that it is actually very important data. The fact that you can get it for free here at Robintrack tells you how you're stupid if you're not seeing what people are buying. See, so Netflix reported bad earnings, but what's happening in the Robinhood? They're buying at increase of 19,000 here means that there used to be 180,000 accounts inside Robinhood that owned Netflix. Now it's 207,000. So there are people buying that 10% drop. So yeah, I mean, I've been looking at some of this. You can see that MVIS, Microvision, kaboom, diba? You can see like a lot of names there are actually names that I like. Space went up. Oh, see, Alibaba, there are some people buying that. Disney, some of them are selling, but take a look, 620,000 accounts own that. There's a lot of value that you can actually check just on popularity changes, leaderboard, most popular, least popular. These are actually important things. Okay, so IBKR, we told you about it. Okay, let's talk about a few things. Morgan Stanley. Okay, so Morgan Stanley is a traditional bank. So don't expect like 100% returns, but is it a good marriage for Morgan Stanley to buy E-Trade? I'd say yes. So you cannot buy EFTC anymore. It used to be this one. Let me show it to you. So wala na. No symbols match because E-Trade is not anymore there because Morgan Stanley bought your E-Trade. So the fact that Morgan Stanley bought E-Trade for $13 billion market cap tells you that IBKR, which is far bigger than E-Trade, should actually have a bottom at about $13 billion market cap, right? It could actually trade double. So you can see naman eh. Here's your Morgan Stanley. There, April 2020, February 3, $30. It's now 52. Because the thing about Morgan Stanley is that it's a full service firm. It's a bank, right? So it's one of the best managed firms in USA alongside your Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. So do I think that Goldman Sachs should buy Interactive Brokers? You never know the future, guys. Maybe. Who knows? Let's take a look at your Schwab. Schwab is your call financial of the USA. Ta-da! Let's see, all shares. So in 1975, they were the first, 1988. So it went from 20 cents to about, ta-da, $50. Went down to about $5 during the NASDAQ bubble. Then from $7, it went to $25, fell down again to about $12. It's a cyclical business, right? So $10 to $55. Now it's about $30. That's just the same price of 2012 and 2013. So if you think that Charles Schwab with trillions of assets would continue to make money, you can actually buy 35 today because you might see it go up to 51, 55. The risk is small. It doesn't go down, I think. To be honest, I think that Charles Schwab is doing an excellent job. This is something that I think is a bottoming out pattern. 31 is a good pattern. 35 is a good pattern. Do I want you to buy this? It's okay. It depends on your appetite. I like to buy companies that are good. And I think that Schwab is a good company. So, actually, I've been choosing whether I buy Charles Schwab or Interactive Brokers, even as a user. Should I open an account in Charles Schwab or Interactive Brokers? The only reason why I chose Interactive Brokers is because fractional shares and I can trade everything around the world. Charles Schwab because it's just USA. So it's just US. It's open to international, but I'm not sure eh. Can you trade? I'm not so sure, guys. Baka they change now. But baka Charles Schwab can I didn't check. But the nice thing about Interactive Brokers is that I can trade Japan, Hong Kong, and I have some companies kasi that I really like in Japan and Hong Kong. So that is really why I want Interactive Brokers. But if Charles Schwab can handle those things, then I think that's also a good company to have, like a good broker to also have. So I think that we have, when is Charles Schwab report earning coming out? It's coming out this, it actually came out na pala eh. July 16, kahapon. I didn't read. So I haven't read the earnings report of Charles Schwab. Let's see. Google Charles Schwab. Earnings reports. Investors Relations. Ta-da! Let's read. I didn't read. A leading investment service with 4 trillion. Okay, where is your earnings result? For the 13-week history of trading activity. Balance sheet up 44% year over year, 330 billion. Mortgage loans, 15 billion, up 27. Pledge asset line balance, up 20%. Client assets managed, $45 billion, up 12%. Client assets in money market funds, $190 billion, up 24%. Okay naman, di ba? Maganda naman yung nakikita niyong mga filings. Presentation, kaboom, see presentations. To be honest, Schwab is really one of the companies that I would have opened an account with. I got a question. Why did Netflix price go down after earnings report last night? Guys, it's very simple. Netflix didn't hit the consensus. Like I think the consensus was $1.90. They had an earnings of $1.55. And Netflix was priced to perfection. Netflix grew 100%. If you were buying Netflix at last year, it was 270, and then it was trading at 560. prior to the earnings report, 570, 520. Naturally, people took profits. You didn't hit the earnings, eh? So it's just that. That's it. You can also read it for yourself. I mean, I didn't have to read. That's the headlines. That's the headlines for the Netflix. You can watch more CNBC or Bloomberg if you want to know more about Netflix earnings quarter. That said, I could do deep dives on these, but this is not part of my lecture today. So there, I can't tell you an answer because today's lecture is about brokerage firms. But I mean, sige, for Netflix at $400, you just buy it if you can even buy it at 400. You can see everything here. Schwab shows the reports. Let's see what price is Schwab today. SCHW. Schwab owns Ameritrade now. So Schwab is actually giving you a good buying area here at 35. Market cap is 43 billion. So not bad. So Schwab is 44 billion, got so much assets. And then Schwab also is cheaper. The PE ratio is 13 times for a brokerage firm. They give a dividend of about 2% a year. Income of 3 billion. So yeah, it's a profitable company. It's kind of like a bank. Take a look the difference of Schwab versus Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley makes 7 billion, but is trading at $79 billion market cap. So this PE is 10 times for your Morgan Stanley. For those who like banks, maybe Morgan Stanley is a company that you might want because they can upsell it to those clients. So IBKR is a smaller firm. It's not a bank, but it actually is income is small, but PE is high because people see that Interactive Brokers would actually get more clients in the future, more client assets in the future. What are the other great companies? So I said CBOE. So CBOE is clearing houses. Let's take a look at their charts. Let's see. CBOE, market access. Charts tayo, guys. I think yung market access went 100 all-time high to market access. I don't even trade these. Market access, NKTX. Wala, clearing houses. They make money because of the trillions of dollars that they have to clear. Full feature chart. It's a $20 billion company. So I mean, the thing about this is that I think if you are handling, I think I'm not sure if the fundamentals, if my memory is correct, I think market access and CBOE handles 70%. So it's a monopoly if you think about it. You are the clearing house. So here, market access is all-time highs. Had you bought last year, it's 200. Now it's 530. There's no competition. Ta-da! Ta-da! Oh my God. It's $40 to $530. I just know it's all-time highs. I didn't manage to see that it was a 10x move. 10x move in the last 6 years just to do clearing. Kaboom. Oh my God. It was $10, 50 times your money in 12 years. Market access, NKTX. Tells you a lot. Tells you a lot about the liquidity. They handle all those security clearing. CBOE went from about $20 to as high as $140. Now it's 92. I didn't check, guys. Wala akong fundamentals dito. So I'm just doing charts for you. Market access, teka lang let me see what is it again? Let me see the charts, yung malalakas nung May. I'm gonna show you a few things, like in China as well. I'll give you some brokerage firms in China. Teka lang. Kasi may pinagkakaguluhan din sa China Here. So market access, CBOE, CME, ICE, and NASDAQ. Okay, let's go there. So the CME is your options. So you probably saw that there are so many traders buying options. So sinong kumita doon? Si CME Group, 41 went to 220. Bumagsak siguro yung volume kaya 167. NASDAQ and DAQ. So all the listings, all the IPOs. So this is your NASDAQ, $20. This is their exchange. It's kind of like, if you can buy the Philippine Stock Exchange, of course you can buy the NASDAQ and that's better. Duh. Sometimes it's it's an obvious thing, right? $20 to 127. Ano pa ba? ICE. Yan. Oh, $10 to $100, 2009. Let's take a look at some Shanghai companies in Hong Kong. So if you're buying Hong Kong stock brokerage firms, this is a company that I want you to check out, CITIC Securities. So CITIC Securities is the account that most Chinese open accounts for. You could see that actually there was a surge of about 50% from $15 to 21, as many Chinese people opened an account, seeing that the Chinese government is having a lot of stimulus support their country, support the economy. I'd say that if it falls near 17, this might actually be an opportunity to enter the Chinese market through the brokerage firms. They would also sell everything like wealth management products, bonds, stocks, everything really. It's more like it's a full service. CITIC Securities also bought CLSA. I know a lot about this company because I studied this. I'll show it to you. CITIC Securities, internationalization, medium, Nikki. Why do I know so many? Because, well, it's my obsession, guys. So don't care. Teka lang. Wait lang. I have written an article about that. Stories. Plus, I bought CITIC Securities 60/30 last year. Sold early though, but still made money. Wait up. Where is that? I have it Teka. Ito. Internationalization, June 19, 2019. So, one of the things that is good for CITIC Securities is that it is China's largest full-service investment bank. So you do research, brokerage, asset management, wealth management, investment advisory. So it is an offshoot of Chinese state-owned company CITIC Group. So from a bank, it actually had become a brokerage firm as well. So it is a bank. It has security firm. Yon. So $15, yes. And of course, China's top brokerage firm bought some CLSA. They bought it in 2013. CITIC Securities surges on a $2 billion purchase of rival. CITIC sees first quarter profit surge. So whenever you buy a company, you of course acquire their clients. So you can actually push a lot of your Hong Kong products to them. So CITIC Brokerage Hong Kong strengthens its wealth management platform. To be honest, guys, one of the reasons why I like access to Hong Kong is because there's a lot of great technology firms in Hong Kong. Meituan Dianping is there. What Hong Kong am I buying? Like gaming companies like Razer is there. Xiaomi is there. Haidilao Hotpot is there. Alibaba, Tencent. JD.com is there now. Of course, JD and Baidu you can access also in US. The thing is, I think in the future there will be NetEase is also in the US, but I think like in the future some Chinese companies will just list themselves in Hong Kong. So if you want like Chinese technology firms, you really have to have access in Hong Kong. So yun, like there were like online education companies that I bought in Hong Kong. Cooler, 1797 is there. Some artificial intelligence companies in Japan is only in Japan. So you want access there. Yun. So anyway, you can read this. Just search the internationalization of CITIC Securities. So I bought somewhere here at about 1450. It went up because I was studying it, this move. So when it pulled back, I bought it. It's not as if like I don't buy my picks. I did. Okay, so yeah, annual report. There. So I think like a good company from a brokerage firm standpoint is CITIC Securities. So it's really a function of the IPOs. It's a function of the rise of retail investing and trading is a function, of course, of the IPOs coming out. So I think like one of the reasons why you want to actually invest in US brokerage firms is that they keep on IPOing, they keep on listing a lot of the best companies in the world. So like example, one of the best companies in the world, like this year, they're planning to IPO Stripe. It used to be that they were going to IPO Airbnb, but I think maybe next year Airbnb. They're going to IPO Palantir, ano pa ba? Stripe, Palantir, Airbnb, Next year yon. Snowflake is good. Dami guys. All I know is that the best companies in the world, like naman, Facebook listed in USA. Maybe someday TikTok, like ByteDance, is gonna list in USA. So I'm just wanting you to know that there are vast opportunities in the world. So this is my ending finale for you. For those people who don't know, the wearables is something that I really like. Wearable trends. A lot of innovative companies are in the world. So you can make like 100 baggers, 10 baggers, so many buying opportunities. So I want you to actually check some of our videos. So like I do daily videos. If you're not sure or this is your first time to watch me, we do have like daily videos, daily updates for the Philippines and for the USA. And every day we have classes like this. Today is a free Friday class, but this is something that I do every single day. So you go to awesome10x.com. In order to apply, you can also go to www.bit.ly/awesome10x. Okay. Oops. Why is it not working? bit.ly/awesome10x. Okay, so here you can see 2,000 pesos. You can pay through PayPal. This is why we want you to invest. Like this is like a 40-minute video where you can invest for just $1,000 globally. You open your own account. We use Interactive Brokers. Again, you can use any brokerage firm you want. What do you get? Okay, so you have a Slack channel like this. You have, so in a Slack channel, I put everything like my mind, all my views. We have a summary. You can know more. You can actually see as well. Of course, I do my courses. So this is like via Zoom class. So I have my courses. You can start from zero knowledge. I'm patient with people. So view product, global investing core training. We teach you the Awesome 10X system, assuming you have zero knowledge. I actually make this very simple. So introduction, how is long-term wealth created, the Awesome 10X system, the investment strategies that you have to make. And then after your core training, you go to our individual classes. So that is the inner circle. I call it the inner circle. So you being a part of our family, so you're entering my inner circle. So welcome to the inner circle, getting started in your Awesome 10X journey. Then you have videos every single day. So this was last night, bad stocks and one night stands. The other night we discussed Sun Power. We talked about Sunrun, SoftBank, talked about Business of Love, GD Auto, Silex, Velodyne Lighter, which are Graph, Crazy Smart Glasses, Wearable Tech. So you could see that it's daily updated, Monday to Friday. So that 2,000 peso per month allows you access for all of these. You can watch all the videos. You can learn a lot. And not just learn a lot, but earn a lot. So to be honest, even if you're not paying me, just go to our videos because again, our chance to teach the Filipino public and the non-Filipino public to invest in the awesome 10X companies worldwide is an endeavor that I really want people to actually do. So there you go. Thank you very much for listening and for watching. And thank you very much. I hope you do learn how to globally invest in 10X trends and have an awesome 10X journey for you. Bye-bye. Thanks.